doing these videos on every Tuesday. So this is my new Tuesday video. If you have been enjoying my content and finding the videos I have on my YouTube channel helpful, please follow me and give me a thumbs up on this video. Okay, so today's topic is if it's microblading permanent or does it fade? And I'm going to get straight to it, both. The biggest issue I have with clients coming into clinic, and the thing I hear over and over again, is when I got my microblading, when I got my permanent makeup, when I had it done, when I had my consultation, I was told that it would fade, that it would categorically fade. Um, there's an element of truth in that, that it does fade, of course, through the years. The same the same molecules are not going to stay. And this is true with body tattoos as well. As you know, body tattoos will fade over time also. If when you first get a tattoo done on your body, it's nice and dark. And the trick is kind of to be able to hold on to that color long term. And of course, it's impossible to do because sun, your body's also going to go through the molecules, take them through your lymphatic system, etc., etc. And the same will hold true for microblading and any kind of permanent makeup. So on the consultations, you will all often be told, oh, it will fade in 2 years and you're going to need a top up. And that's true. But what people don't hear is that, and you will need a top up part. So when people go to get permanent makeup, the only bit they hear is it will fade in 2 years. How much it fades is down to a million things. It can be down to the type of skin that you have, how far the actual microblading was tattooed. And I do use the word tattooed. It is a tattoo, ladies and gentlemen. No two ways about it. You are implanting pigment into the skin. This is a tattoo. So according to how deep that pigment was implanted is how long this is likely to be retained in the skin. A microblading that is implanted very, very shallow in the skin, so just under the epidermis, um, 1 millimeter into the skin, will fade with a lot more consistency than if it's implanted further in the skin. But it's not all down to the technician. If you have greasy skin, those crisp hair strokes you want are probably going to be impossible. They're going to merge into each other. Also, the way you heal, if you have diabetes and you have issues healing, all of these things will have a very large part to play on how long this microblading or permanent makeup is going to be on your skin. I think that if you're looking at this video with the view of making a decision, do know that the chances are fairly well in our favor that this is not going to fade 100% ever and for anyone. So if you're going to get semi-permanent brows, whichever technique it is that you choose, which is whether it's machine or microblading or hand method, etc., there are going to be elements of that pigment that will remain in your skin indefinitely. And there's two ways you can go about doing this going forward. You can have a top up, which is this is what your permanent makeup artist will no doubt have a conversation with you about. And as long as the shape is good, the top up should be fairly easy. It should be a color correction procedure. So if the color has gone a bit bluey, etc., this can be with a top up. It can be rectified. As long as that shape is good, then you're not going to have a lot of problems with your top up. The other way is my way of doing things, which is basically stick a laser in it, get rid of it, and start over again. A lot of people come to me with, I would say 50-50. 50% of people come to me with the view of really never having permanent brows done again. They just want me to take all of the pigment off, and I do, and they're very happy. But the other 50% want, like the shape, has had overall a good experience with permanent makeup, and they have decided um, to fade it just enough so that a really good permanent makeup artist can go and do the job again. They've enjoyed the crisp hair strokes, they've enjoyed the look, and they just want to keep this up. Overall, my personal view is that people will require laser at some point when you have permanent makeup. The exception might be the eyeliner. My eyeliner is tattooed and it's very subtle. I have very little plans of ever taking it off. I love the way it looks. It's subtle. It's nice. I've always had it. Um, but when young girls will go and do these big wing eyeliners that will obviously go out of fashion, then laser might be what needs to be done. And whilst as I'm on the subject of fashion, be conscientious about this, about what brows you're gonna get, because the fashions do change. So for the past, I would say 6, 7, 8 years, the fashion has been very much, especially in some areas of the country, bold, thick brows. And now, of course, the fashion is changing again to much more natural, subdued brows. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this change is done, because obviously my laser is going to be working overtime to try to get these thick brows off in order to have the thinner, more natural brows retattooed. And I can guarantee you that will happen for another 10 years. And then we're going to be back to the thick brow game, because that is how life works. Um, so to recap, is microblading permanent? Yes, it is. Does it fade? Yes, it does fade. But what you need to bear in mind is, what are your long term goals with this? So, if your long term goal is to have always microblading done and have things top up, eventually, there's going to be a buildup of pigment, and you're going to need laser. But you know what? That's part of the process. If you decide that this is not a look you want anymore, you just don't want to have the tattoo on your face, again, we have laser. But it is, there is an element of it's your responsibility to do the research, and most of you are on watching this video because you are doing the research, and understand that it's a commitment. But then everything is, when we hit a certain age, like me, uh, just keeping this boat afloat from an aesthetic point of view is an absolute commitment. On the aesthetic side, I hear people saying to me, "Oh, I really don't want fillers because I'm gonna have to have them done all the time." I'm like, "Yes, and you know what? You need to brush your teeth forever, and you have to take your vitamins forever, and there's a lot of things to keep the ship going, that especially after a certain age, that we need to do forever." So brows are part of this equation. So I hope that you have found what I've said helpful. By all means, do give me a thumbs up if you have, and follow my channel, and I will be doing this. I'm not gonna promise, but I will try my best to do these every Tuesday at around this time. Okay, and you have a lovely week, and I leave you with my best wishes. Bye.